My friend Sarah lost her job last month. She's a graphic designer. She's talented. She's been doing it for 12 years.
What happened?
Her company replaced her whole team with an AI tool. 4 designers. Gone. In one meeting.
One meeting?
One meeting. Her boss called them in on a Tuesday afternoon and said, "We found a tool that does what you do, faster and cheaper. Your last day is Friday."
That's brutal.
But here's the part that really got me. When I called her that night, expecting her to be crying, expecting her to be angry, she was calm. She said, "Honestly, Emma, I saw it coming. I've been watching AI get better every month. I just hoped it would take a little longer to reach me."
She hoped it would take longer.
That sentence stayed with me for days. Because I think a lot of people listening right now feel the same thing. You can see it coming. You just hope it takes longer to reach you.
And today, we're not going to pretend AI isn't changing work. We're not going to say, don't worry, everything will be fine. We're going to talk about it honestly. What's really happening, how to talk about it in English, and what you can actually do about it.
No fake motivation, no just learn to code. Just an honest conversation between two people who are also trying to figure this out. Hey everyone, welcome back to Real People, Real English, the podcast where we don't avoid the hard topics. We just talk about them in clear, calm English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Henry. Today's episode is a big one. It's about something that's affecting millions of people right now. And we're going to talk about it the way two friends would. Honestly, without drama, and with real vocabulary you can use.
Get comfortable. This conversation matters.
So let's set the scene. Because this isn't a technology lecture, this is a life conversation.
Yes, 5 years ago, if someone said, "AI will take your job," most people laughed. It felt like science fiction, like something from a movie.
And now it's Tuesday.
It's just Tuesday, and AI is already here. Writing emails, creating images, answering customer questions, coding software, translating documents, summarizing reports.
And the strange part is, it didn't arrive with a big explosion. It didn't break down the door. It just quietly showed up and started doing things.
And nobody had a big dramatic moment. There was no movie scene where the robot walks in and everyone gasps. It was more like, one day you noticed your company was using a new tool, and then another tool. And then your colleague said, "Oh, AI does that now."
And you thought, wait, since when? And the answer was, since a while ago. You just didn't notice.
That's the scariest part. It's not dramatic, it's gradual, like water rising slowly. You don't realize how high it is until your shoes are wet.
Like a new employee who doesn't need sleep, doesn't ask for a raise, and never calls in sick.
And never complains about the coffee.
Never complains about the coffee. The perfect coworker. Except, this coworker might be sitting in your chair soon.
And that's the feeling we want to talk about today. Not the technology, the feeling. Because technology is facts, but losing your job, worrying about your future, watching your skills become less valuable, that's emotion. And emotions need language.
And that's why this episode exists. Not to teach you about AI, you can read about that anywhere, but to give you the English words for the feelings, the situations, and the conversations that AI is creating in your life.
Because you might need to explain to your family why your job changed. You might need to talk about it in an interview. You might need to process it with a friend. And for all of those moments, you need words.
Quick favor before we continue.
If you're learning with us, please like this video and subscribe. Every like helps another learner find us.
And today's common challenge, write, I'm your name from your country, and AI has changed my work by blank. Or if it hasn't yet, AI hasn't changed my work yet, but I worry about blank.
Be honest. Your answer helps other learners see that they're not alone in this.
This is a B1 to B2 conversation. We'll use some strong vocabulary today, words like automate, obsolete, and pivot, but we'll explain everything clearly.
And at the very end, we'll do our word replay, a calm, slow review of every important word. Stay with us till the end.
Okay, let's start with what's actually happening. Not the headlines, not the hype, the reality.
AI is not replacing all jobs. Let me say that clearly. It's not replacing all jobs.
But it is replacing some tasks. And when enough tasks get replaced, the job changes or disappears.
Let me give you some examples. AI can now write a marketing email in 10 seconds. That used to take a copywriter 30 minutes.
AI can generate a logo design in 5 seconds. That used to take a designer 2 days.
AI can translate a document in 3 seconds. That used to take a translator 2 hours.
AI can summarize a 50-page report in 10 seconds. That used to take an analyst an entire morning.
So the word here is automate. Automate means a machine does the work that a human used to do.
The company automated their customer service, means they replaced human agents with AI chatbots.
And here's the vocabulary. When a task gets automated, the person who did that task needs to adapt.
Adapt means to change yourself to fit a new situation, like a plant that grows toward the light. The light moved, so the plant adjusted.
And adaptation doesn't mean becoming someone completely different. It means becoming a slightly evolved version of who you already are.
A teacher who learns to use AI tools is still a teacher. A designer who learns prompt engineering is still a designer. A translator who reviews AI output is still a translator.
The core stays the same. The method changes. And that's adaptation. And that's what millions of workers are doing right now. The light moved, and they're trying to figure out which direction to grow.
Some people are learning new skills. Some people are changing careers entirely. Some people are trying to work alongside AI instead of competing against it.
And some people, let's be honest, are frozen. They know things are changing, but they don't know what to do. So they do nothing. And they hope it takes longer to reach them.
Like Sarah.
Like Sarah.
Now let's talk about the feelings, because this is where English learners really need vocabulary.
When your job is threatened by AI, you feel many things at once, and most of them are hard to name.
The first feeling, anxiety. A constant low-level worry that sits in your stomach like a rock. Not panic, just worry all the time.
I feel anxious about the future. There's this constant anxiety I can't shake. Shake here means to get rid of. You can't shake the feeling.
And this anxiety is different from normal stress. Normal stress has a clear cause and a clear solution. This anxiety is foggy. You can't point to one thing. It's everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
I'm not sure what to worry about first. That's a sentence I've heard from so many people lately. They know something is changing, but they can't see the shape of it yet.
And that uncertainty, that not knowing, is actually harder than knowing the worst. Because your brain fills in the blanks with the scariest version possible. The second feeling, inadequacy. Feeling like you're not enough, like your skills aren't good enough anymore.
Inadequacy is a heavy word. It means, I'm not sufficient. I'm not what they need. And it's a terrible feeling because it attacks your identity, not just your paycheck.
When your job defined who you are, and then AI can do your job, what does that mean about you?
It means nothing about you. But it doesn't feel that way. It feels like the world is saying, we found something better than you.
And that brings us to the third feeling, obsolete. The fear of becoming obsolete.
Obsolete means no longer needed, no longer useful. Like a floppy disk, like a VHS tape. Technology moved on and left you behind.
And nobody wants to feel like a floppy disk.
Nobody. But a lot of people feel exactly like that right now. And they don't say it out loud because it's embarrassing. It's vulnerable.
But we're saying it here. Because if you feel it, you need the words for it. And the word is obsolete.
I'm afraid of becoming obsolete. Say it. Name it. Because feelings you can name are feelings you can work with.
And there's one more feeling we should name. grief.
Grief? For a job?
Yes. When you lose a career you built for years, when the thing you were good at becomes automated, you grieve. You grieve the identity, the expertise, the years you invested.
A listener once told me, Emma, I spent 15 years becoming an expert, and now a tool does what I do in 30 seconds. I don't know who I am anymore.
That's grief. Real, valid, heavy grief. And it's okay to feel it.
Because you can't skip grief. You have to walk through it. But on the other side of grief, there's space. Space for something new. Space for the next version of you.
And that next version, it might be even better than the one AI replaced. Quick pause.
If you understood everything up to this point, automate, adapt, anxiety, inadequacy, obsolete, your English is strong. These are not easy words. These are adult, professional, real-world words.
And you're understanding them in a natural conversation, not from a vocabulary list, from a real discussion about a real topic.
That means your brain is processing English the way native speakers do, through context, through emotion, through stories, not through memorization.
Be proud of that. That's not small. That's how fluency actually builds.
Okay, now the hopeful part, because this episode is not about fear. It's about understanding.
AI is very good at tasks, specific, repeatable tasks. Write this email, make this image, translate this document, summarize this report.
But AI is very bad at something else, something that humans are built for.
Connection.
Connection. AI cannot sit with a crying patient and make them feel safe. AI cannot read the room in a meeting and know when to stay quiet. AI cannot look at a child who's struggling and change the lesson on the spot.
AI cannot tell a joke that lands at exactly the right moment. AI cannot build trust with a client over 3 years of honest conversations.
AI can write a sympathy email, but AI cannot hold your hand at a funeral. And those two things are not the same.
So the jobs that survive, and the skills that matter, are the ones that require what AI can't do. Empathy, judgment, creativity with purpose, leadership, trust.
A teacher who inspires? AI can't replace that. A nurse who calms a scared patient? AI can't replace that. A manager who knows when someone needs a day off before they even ask? AI can't replace that.
So the question is not, will AI take my job? The better question is, what part of my job is human, and how do I become better at that part?
That's the pivot. And pivot is an important word.
Pivot means to change direction, not to start over, not to throw everything away, just to turn slightly and face a new direction.
I'm pivoting my career toward project management. She pivoted from design to UX research. You're using your old skills in a new way.
Pivoting is not failure. Pivoting is intelligence. It means you see what's coming and you adjust.
Now, let's give you the phrases. Because you need to be able to talk about this at work, in interviews, with friends.
Talking about change at work. My industry is going through a lot of changes right now. That's the calm, professional way to say, AI is shaking everything up.
Things are shifting. Shifting means moving, changing position. The whole industry is shifting toward automation.
My role has evolved. Evolved means changed gradually over time. My role has evolved. I used to do X, now I mostly do Y.
And if you lost your job, my position was eliminated. This is the professional way to say it, not I was fired. My position was eliminated. It puts the focus on the company's decision, not on you.
The company restructured and my role was affected. Restructured means the company changed its shape, moved things around. Your job happened to be one of the things that moved.
And the positive way to frame it, I'm in transition. Transition means moving from one thing to the next. I'm currently in transition. That sounds intentional. It sounds like you have a plan.
Even if you don't have a plan yet, even if you're still figuring it out, in transition buys you time and keeps your dignity.
And for the proactive people, I'm upskilling. Upskilling means learning new skills to stay relevant. I'm upskilling in data analysis. I'm upskilling in AI tools.
I'm upskilling is probably the most important phrase of 2026 because it says, I see what's happening and I'm doing something about it.
And here's the irony. One of the best things you can upskill in right now is learning how to use AI. Not competing against it, working with it.
The people who will do best in the next 10 years are the ones who say, how can AI help me do my job better? Instead of, AI is going to take my job.
That's a mindset shift, from fear to curiosity, and it changes everything.
Let me give you a concrete example. Instead of, AI wrote an email better than me, try, AI wrote the first draft, and I made it sound human.
Instead of AI created a design faster than me, try AI created 20 options, and I picked the one that actually connects with people.
Instead of, AI translated the document, try, AI translated it, and I made sure it didn't accidentally insult anyone.
That's actually a real risk with AI translation. Cultural mistakes, tone problems, awkward phrasing.
And that's where humans are irreplaceable. Not in the first draft, in the final draft. Not in the creation, in the judgment.
AI creates, humans decide. That's the partnership. And learning to describe that partnership in English, that's what will help you in your next interview, your next meeting, your next career conversation.
Imagine you're in a job interview. The interviewer asks, how do you feel about AI in the workplace? Here are 3 levels of answers.
Level 1, basic. I think AI is interesting and I want to learn more about it.
Level 2, intermediate. I see AI as a tool that can help me work more efficiently. I'm learning to use it alongside my existing skills.
Level 3, impressive. In my last role, I started using AI tools to handle routine tasks so I could focus on the creative and strategic work that requires human judgment. I see AI as a partner, not a threat.
Notice how level 3 tells a story, shows experience, and uses the word partner. That answer gets you hired.
And here's another interview question that's coming up more and more. How do you stay current in your field?
This is the new version of, where do you see yourself in 5 years? The interviewer wants to know if you're adaptable, if you're paying attention to changes.
Good answers. I follow industry trends. I'm always learning something new. I recently took a course on blank. I try to stay curious and open to new tools.
Stay curious is a beautiful phrase for interviews. It shows humility and growth mindset at the same time.
And if someone asks you directly, are you worried about AI? You can say, I think change is always a bit uncomfortable, but I'd rather adapt early than react late.
Adapt early rather than react late. Remember that phrase. It works in interviews, in meetings, and in life.
And it's not complicated English. It's just clear, confident, and specific. That's what employers want to hear in 2026.
Let me share 2 quick stories, because stories make this real.
Yes, theory is nice. Stories are better.
Story 1. I know a translator. She's been translating English to Spanish for 20 years. When AI translation tools got really good, she panicked. She thought she was done.
And?
She pivoted. She didn't stop translating. She started reviewing AI translations and fixing them. Because AI gets close, but it misses tone. It misses culture. It misses the feeling of words. And she's the human who adds that back.
She went from doing the work to supervising the work. Her salary actually went up.
And here's the lesson from her story. She didn't fight the technology. She didn't pretend it wasn't happening. She looked at it and asked, "Where's the gap?" And the gap was human nuance, culture, emotion, things AI misses every time.
She found the gap between what AI does well and what humans do better, and she filled it. That's the strategy.
Because her skill, understanding culture, tone, nuance, became more valuable, not less.
Story 2. A friend of mine is a teacher. She was terrified of AI. Students will just use ChatGPT for every assignment. And at first, they did.
What did she do?
She changed the assignments. Instead of write an essay about climate change, she started asking, interview your grandmother about how the weather has changed in her lifetime and write about what surprised you.
AI can't interview your grandmother.
No, it cannot. And that's the point. She didn't ban AI. She didn't fight it. She made the work so human that AI became irrelevant.
And the beautiful thing? Her students loved it. Because they got to talk to real people about real experiences. The assignments became more meaningful, not less.
Exactly. She made the assignments human, personal, impossible to automate. And her students started producing the best work she'd ever seen.
Because they couldn't cheat. They had to think. They had to feel. They had to connect.
One student wrote about how her grandmother remembered winters with 3 feet of snow in her village. And now, the snow barely comes. The student cried while writing it.
Because it wasn't just an assignment anymore. It was a real conversation with a real person about something that matters.
AI can write facts about climate change, but AI can't make a student cry with meaning. That's the difference between information and education. And that difference is human. And that teacher? She didn't become obsolete. She became more creative, more necessary, more irreplaceable.
Two very different stories. A translator and a teacher. Different fields, different challenges, but the same response.
They didn't run from AI. They didn't ignore AI. They looked at AI and asked, "What can you do?" And then they asked themselves, "What can I do that you can't?"
And they built their future on the answer to that second question.
That's the formula. It's not complicated, but it requires honesty. And it requires courage.
Because the honest answer might be uncomfortable. Maybe 50% of what you do can be automated. That's scary to admit.
But the other 50%, the human 50%, that's where your value lives. That's the part nobody can automate, and that's the part you should invest in.
Now, directly to you.
The person listening right now, whether you're a student, a professional, a freelancer, or someone between jobs, this matters to you.
If AI hasn't touched your work yet, it will. Not to scare you, just to prepare you.
And the preparation is simple. Ask yourself one question. What do I do that a machine cannot feel?
Maybe it's your creativity. Maybe it's your empathy. Maybe it's your ability to build trust. Maybe it's your judgment in messy, complicated situations.
Whatever that thing is, get better at it. Because that's your superpower. That's the part of you that AI will never replace.
And use AI for the boring stuff. Let it write the first draft. Let it organize the data. Let it translate the document. Then you come in and add the human layer.
Think of AI as an assistant, not a replacement. It's the intern who does the research. You're the one who makes the decision.
And one final thought. Don't compare yourself to AI. That's like comparing yourself to a calculator. Of course the calculator is faster at math, but the calculator can't decide which problem is worth solving.
You are not competing with AI. You are partnering with AI. And in every partnership, each side brings something the other can't. AI brings speed and data. You bring meaning and heart.
And the world will always need meaning and heart.
And one more thing, your English. The fact that you're learning English right now, that's an adaptation. That's you growing toward a new direction.
You're already doing the thing we're talking about. You're upskilling. You're investing in yourself. You're building something AI can never take away from you. The ability to communicate across cultures.
So if you ever feel behind, remember, you're here. You're learning. You're listening to a B2 level conversation and understanding it. That's not behind, that's ahead. Okay, word replay time. Let's slow down.
Before we do the word replay, one final reflection.
We've talked about a lot today. Fear, adaptation, feelings, career language, real stories. It's heavy. And if you feel a little overwhelmed right now, that's okay.
You don't need to process all of this today. You don't need to have a plan by tomorrow. You just need to know that this conversation exists, that these words exist, and that you're not alone in feeling this way.
Millions of people around the world are having this exact same moment of, what happens to me? And the answer is, you happen to you. You choose. You adapt. You grow.
Not because you have to be perfect, but because you're capable of more than you think.
And capable is a beautiful word. It doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you have the ability to find them.
I am capable of learning new things. I am capable of adapting. Say those sentences to yourself, because they're true, and sometimes your brain needs to hear them from you.
First, automate.
Automate means a machine does work that a human used to do. They automated the entire checkout process. Let's repeat it. Automate.
Automate.
Next, adapt.
Adapt means to change yourself to fit a new situation. I had to adapt quickly when my company restructured. Let's repeat it. Adapt.
Adapt.
Next, obsolete.
Obsolete means no longer needed or useful. Some people fear becoming obsolete, but your human skills are irreplaceable. Let's repeat it. Obsolete.
Obsolete.
Next, pivot.
Pivot means to change direction using your existing skills. She pivoted from journalism to content marketing. Let's repeat it. Pivot.
Pivot.
Next, upskill.
Upskill means to learn new skills to stay relevant. I'm upskilling in AI tools to future-proof my career. Let's repeat it. Upskill.
Upskill.
Next, restructure.
Restructure means a company changes its organization. Roles move, merge, or disappear. The company restructured and my department was affected. Let's repeat it. Restructure.
Restructure.
Next, in transition.
In transition means moving between one job or phase and the next. I'm currently in transition, exploring new opportunities. Let's repeat it. In transition.
In transition.
And our last word, irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable means nobody and nothing can take your place. Your human skills, empathy, creativity, judgment, are irreplaceable. Let's repeat it. Irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable.
Those are heavy words. But they're your words now. Words for interviews, words for conversations, words for understanding the world you're living in.
And if you want to practice, rewind this section and repeat them again. Your mouth needs to feel these words, not just your ears. Whew. That's our episode.
If this conversation helped you see things a little more clearly, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's worrying about their career right now.
In the comments, write, I'm your name from your country, and AI has changed my work by... We read every single one, and your story might help someone else feel less alone.
Download the free PDF in the description. Vocabulary, career phrases, everything from today.
We upload Monday through Friday. Bell, click it. You know the drill.
And here's what we want to leave you with.
AI is a tool, a powerful tool. But tools don't have hearts. Tools don't have judgment. Tools don't have the ability to sit with another human being and make them feel understood.
You do. And that will never be automated.
The future doesn't belong to AI. It doesn't belong to humans who ignore AI. It belongs to humans who use AI and stay human while doing it.
Stay curious, stay kind, stay human, and your career will find its way.
Take care of your skills, take care of your confidence, and take care of your English.
This was Real People, Real English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Henry. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And remember, you are not a floppy disk.
You are absolutely not a floppy disk. Bye-bye.